Hi Stitchy friends, happy Thursday. Welcome to Flosstube number 26. I believe I'm on 26. I was off, for a few weeks because of the snafu with the YouTubes, but I'm back and I'm here to show you some Stitchy stuff. So before we continue, if you could hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, that would be really awesome. And let's tuck in, grab some stitching stuff and let's tuck in. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Chelsea. I am the creator, owner, designer of Vermont Stitchy Co. So welcome in for those of you who are new. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much for joining me and coming back. I really appreciate it. So I have some cool things I want to show you today. One is a work in progress, also called a WIP, work in progress. Oh, it looks like I have a spinning top. I have my Christmas tree out. It is that time of the year and I am full into Christmas decor for the most part. So I have a few things out here in my office to keep me happy and smiley. That stays on all the time. It does play music, but it's like the same 3 songs, so I turn that feature off, so no noise. And downstairs in the living room is where I put most of the decorations and most of the quilts. You can see this is a quilt that I made. The shapes, I think it's a hexagon shape that I got from Missouri Star Quilt Company's Countdown to Christmas box for last year. That would be the 2024 box. I did not get one this year. I could feel where my pocket and my wallet was going, and this year I just didn't have enough money. But last year and the year before I did, so I was able to, that's Shadowfax. I was able to get it, and so the hexies are from there, and I just put this little silly quilt together with some extras that I had. So my quilts are out, my Christmas quilts are out, and they're up and running. Sorry, that's the cats. But let me show you what I got. So the cross stitch that I have on for the Christmassy season, I think I only have 4 so far. Again, this is my first year of doing Etsy. This is my first year of doing YouTube, so I don't have a lot for my cross stitch patterns yet, but I'm constantly growing and constantly putting new stuff out there. So for these this season, there are some stuff, but it's just not as much as I would like it to be. So this one, I'm thinking about redoing this one. This is one of like the first ones I put on my Etsy shop. It's cute, but the pattern is not as sleek as I have them now. So I might rearrange and put this out again. But Santa paws, move that out of the way. A cat with, I think you get it, but a cat with a beard, which I thought was really, really cute. These whiskers are back stitched. You don't have to do them if you don't want to. We've got a bag. He's gotten into the toys, and you can't really see here. Let's see if I can. There we go. That's a present that's been ripped open and the yarn was inside. The color that I chose for this, I would choose a different, like a blue, like a really light baby blue would look really nice. So you can't really see this, but that's what that is. And a tree, simple tree. It's really, really simple, really, really basic beginner stuff that I did because I myself was trying to accommodate beginners. So this is a really beginner pattern. Again, on my Etsy shop, you can see I was attempting to do the thing that the Stitching with the Housewives that do really, really brilliantly. It doesn't work for me. It's just, I'm not that good at it. They are absolutely excellent. Mwah, chef's kiss to them. I can't do it. I think this would look way better in a hoop, but I was trying something. So it is what it is. The next one, this one I actually really, really like. I think I did a really good job on this one. You'll see this is, I think it's like my little, I don't think it's a profile picture that I have for my Etsy shop, but this Also on my Etsy shop, you can't buy the busted canvas on it's just the pattern, just a heads up. But I did this fabric on the outside, fabric on the inside, and inside here, I don't think I'll be able to get a shot, but in here, what this is sitting on is this fabric as well here. Hearts and hollies. Just a little close up there. And this is extra fabric. I think I got this fabric, if memory serves, I got this fabric in Maine. My husband and I went to Bar Harbor one year, I think a couple years ago, and I bought a lot of fabric there at their quilt shop. Really cute small quilt shop that they have in Bar Harbor, or just outside Bar Harbor. I'm not quite sure, I can't remember, but I think this is where I got this from. And it is a busted canvas. There's a canvas, and guys, you know me, I did a hair tie, hot glued this on, and if I want to hang it, I've got a great way to hang it. But this is on my Etsy shop. You can see there's an like a square outline, so all the images are inside the square, and then you've got this little filigree on top. It's really cute. In the pattern, I think I did white rabbits, and on this fabric, which is kind of an off-white, kind of tea-dyed, the white rabbits you couldn't see. So I did on top of the white a really light brown, but I only used one thread. Yeah, I guess that would be the best way to describe it. One thread. Normally I do two strings of thread over one, to make it easier. I just use 2 strings of thread normally to give it body and depth. For this, for the rabbits, I did 2 strings of white, which you can kind of see peeking through, and then 1 string of brown on top, just to give it depth, because when you held it back here, the rabbits weren't there. It just looked like a blank spot with some weird, I don't know what's down here. So these are, you know, Christmas balls, Christmas decorations, and they're either, depending on your interpretation, putting them on the trees or taking them off. But you've got 2 little reindeer. This is back stitch, that's why you can see it moving. That's how I did my back stitch, and some presents, so you know whose sleigh this is. But this, absolutely adore. The busted canvas I think looks really nice. There's something about the cardinals with the greenery. It really works with this. I like it a lot. So if you're interested, there are plenty of YouTube videos on how to do a busted canvas, and I just put it in this. So I think this looks great. And if I had to redo, I'd probably put this in a busted canvas too. The next one I have is also on my Etsy shop. It's a little, you can see through it obviously, but it is a deer with eating a candy cane. That's what he's doing, and then some birds, cardinals, maybe we have here in southern Vermont, I don't know about northern Vermont, but in southern Vermont we have tufted titmouse. That's, I think, the name of the bird. I don't know if anybody else has those birds in different states, but that's what I imagine that is. And then I can't resist little decoration, like they're not earrings because it's on the antlers, but I like them. I call them earrings even though they're not. And from far away you can't really see the antlers. I think if I were to redo this again, I would do it on a blue so that you could see the antlers. I mean, up close you can, but far away you can't. So I think I would do this on a blue, or I think it would look really cute on a pink. But you can't really go dark brown. Maybe on a green, maybe, but there's green in the little holly bits. So it's hard to figure out the right color combination. Maybe a chalkboard black would look really nice on the back of this. Makes the white and the red pop. But I think blue or pink would look really nice with this too. Or plain white. You know me, I'm not a fan of plain white. I just am not. I don't like it all that much. So maybe an off-white, like a cream. But I think this is really cute. Obviously you can see I put this in a hoop and I did a square outline. I just kind of like the way that looks. It looks funky to me, so I like it. You don't have to do that. You can do, you know what, stitching with the cross stitching with the crosswives, cross stitching with the housewives, what they do with the layers. But I like a hoop. I like the way this looks, and the little flower. These are just from that pack of flowers that I got at the antique shop, and they just happen to be a red tulip and a white, I don't know, other flower. I just put them together. Why not? I think it looks nice, but remember, hot glue is not permanent, so you can always rip it off if you don't like it from season to season. That's the wonderful thing. And then this one I made for Christmas in July. So if you are a regular, you probably have seen it already, but I wanted to bring it out. So you can recognize this little guy. This is obviously is a smaller version. You can see the size difference here, side by side. He's significantly smaller. I'm just 2 birds instead of 3. We've got the stockings here with a little, it's a Christmas tree in their design. A cup of cocoa or coffee, or tea, depending on what you drink. Snowman, again, with this, it's not technically white, but you can't really see the snowman on it. So if I were to do it again, I think a blue or a pink would really make the colors pop, but it is what it is. We've got holly on the top and the bottom, cheer on the side. It's taken over by the flowers, but cheer is on the side here, and joy's up on the top. So they're all in their individual boxes here, which I think is really cute. It's kind of, it's an ode to a sampler, as it were. If I were to do this again, I mean, I love the greenery. The greenery is there. Let's go truthfully, didn't fit in the frame. So I just was like, let's load up on flowers. Let's just be honest here, because I'm not perfect by any means, and I hope none of you are trying to be perfect, but it works for me. It's out, it's my decorations, I really like it. Tulips and other weird random flowers. It's kind of tropical, but but it's, you're pulled away really far, like, okay, you can get away with it, I can get away with it. It looks kind of Christmassy, so I don't mind it. It works for my very low income budget that I have. So do you boo, and do whatever you need to do to make it work. So that's what I did. It doesn't fit, but it's hot glued in and shoved in there, and it fits and it works now. So do whatever it is you need to do. I'm really a believer of like, just make it work. So if you like this is also on my Etsy shop. All the ones that I've shown you already are on my Etsy shop right now. Like I said before, I only have a handful of holiday Christmas ones out so far. I have one that I'm working on right now, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to finish it. Like I said, I work full-time, luckily from home, but this is a really wonderful hobby that I would love to make this my full-time job and to be able to have a good income from it, but that's not sustainable right now. I can't. So I'm working as best as I can, but I have patterns. Patterns are the easy part. I make them on my computer. They're good to go, but the problem is I don't have a lot of time, and my brain and my eyes really hurt after staring at a computer for 8 hours a day. I don't have a printer, can't afford a printer, so I do from my electronics the patterns, but staring at a screen for 8 hours a day and then going right to a screen again for my patterns gets difficult. So I try my best, but all of these are on my Etsy shop now, and I don't think I'll be able to finish the newest one in time for Christmas. So I've been debating if I should, this is where my thought was going earlier, if I should put the patterns out, but with the understanding that I haven't finished them and created them, because I like to see what it looks like finished. That's what I like when I'm going through and looking at Etsy shops. I like to be able to see what it'll look like after I'm done. So that's why I've been doing it the way I've been doing it, and only putting out patterns once I've finished the pieces. But perhaps for the holiday season, because I have a couple in the bank, as it were, that are really fun, but again, I don't know if I'll be able to stitch it, so we'll see. This is the one I'm working on. As you guys know, I don't like pure white. If we compare this color to that, they're different colors. This is more of a cream, but ta-da! this is what I'm working on. You can kind of see the outline of what's happening here. I think you can guess what kind of recipe, but it's gingerbread cookies. I love gingerbread cookies. This is a pattern that I made, I designed, no AI, no looking anywhere else. This is just like, I wanted gingerbread cookies. And because I have to change how I've been eating, sweets are really hard to let go of, as you can see. And so I could eat my weight in gingerbread cookies, y'all. I really could. Literally could. My husband makes excellent, Mama don't cook, don't judge, Mama don't cook. But my husband makes excellent gingerbread cookies. And when he does, and he is not good at like, okay, we're only going to have a few, so I'm going to make a large container, put most of it in the fridge, the raw dough, but only take out like a handful of scoops, and then we only eat a handful. That's how I would be. We only eat a handful of cookies. He'll make the entire batch, and he's normally doubled the recipe, and y'all, I will sit there and eat it. It's real bad. So gingerbread cookies. So I haven't asked him to make any this year because of my new dietary restrictions that I have to go on for my health and my cholesterol and my triglycerides and all that stuff. But I can make a recipe. So I've been cross-stitching a recipe. It is going to be about this big. You can see comparative to my head, it is quite a large cross-stitch pattern. Now there's not much happening on here right now. This red, I'm gonna call it a red check for lack of a better term, is gonna go up the almost all the way up the recipe on both sides. Over here you're gonna have 3, again this is going to be quite large, so 1, 2, 3, this is a space for 1 already, 3 gingerbread cookies, 2 male gingerbread cookies, and 1 female, a dress and not a dress, who cares, it doesn't matter, but a dress, gingerbread cookies, 1 with a dress, 2 without a dress. So that's what that is. And then up at the top it's going to say gingerbread cookies, and then this pattern here, which will have red inside to mimic holly, is going to be also along the top. So a red check here, a red check here, 3 gingerbread cookies. It's going to say gingerbread, and then the rest of the recipe will be in here. So it's big. This is going to be one of the largest patterns I've ever created. I also, stupidly, or I don't know what I was thinking. I really, really don't know what I was thinking. Maybe this is all I had, but you can see how close it is to the edge on this side, and it's going to be like 3 stitches away from the edge on this side. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't cut it right, or maybe I did. This was the last piece that I had. I don't know what I was thinking, but it's going to be cutting it close. And I showed this to my mom, and she said, I want this recipe, but can we do it on a busted canvas? And I was like, ooh, that is a good idea. So a busted canvas, just to remind you, is this, where you've got the curled back, and you can see 2 different tones, and you can see the pattern inside. She wants this for this. So I was like, ooh, well, I'm going to have to go out and buy a very large canvas for this too. 2 canvases, 1 for the busted piece and then 1 for the solid on the back. So I'm hoping to get this done well before Christmas time, well before Christmas Eve, so that I can go out and find it and maybe be able to craft it with her. I've got the Mod Podge, I've got, all the things. However, I don't think I have any Christmas fabric left. I don't have any that looks like this, that's for sure, left. So I'm not sure what she's gonna wanna do. I have like shimmery green and shimmery red. Synthetic, it's not cotton. So we'll see what she wants to do. But yeah, I'm super excited about this, and I can't wait to actually finish it. So the next time I'll be able to actually cross stitch will be tomorrow morning. I don't work so early, so I'll probably get up at 7 and have a few hours to be able to work on this before work starts. And then Saturday I need to finish a quilt that my husband bought me. He bought me a quilt kit last Christmas that I started. My machine broke, had to take that in to get fixed, my sewing machine. And I didn't do anything all summer. It took 3 or 4 months for my machine to get fixed. So yeah, I'm gonna have to finish that quilt on Saturday. I'm almost done, at least the top. We'll see how that goes. So yes, okay, so we've got that. I got my car back. My car went in for a few things that needed to be fixed. The mechanics broke something in the car and it was leaking oil from the engine. So they took it in. It was gone a week. So this is over Thanksgiving. So they gave me a loaner car free of charge. And they very kindly didn't charge me for the things that they broke, which, you know, they could have easily charged me, but they didn't. And I was so happy. I started crying on the phone because it's a lot of money. Yeah, a lot of money. Cars are a lot of money, especially right now. And so there's that. Tyr, that's the 3-legged cat that I have. He is doing so well on the medication that I have been having to give him as a shot. So we are in like week 2 or 3 of doing it twice a week. So that's going to happen twice a week for 1 month. So we're getting to the close to the end of that. I believe the last week of December we moved to the once a month. So, but he's doing so well. He's running around so much more. He seems a lot happier. He's meowing, wanting to be around me. He's not sleeping all day. I mean, he still sleeps. He's a cat. Come on, let's be honest. And it's wintertime. But he's downstairs watching the birds. He's running around. He's hooting and hollering, getting into things, getting up on the counter, which he's not supposed to do, and then jumping off the counter, which is counterintuitive because he only has one front leg. But he seems a lot happier, and the shots aren't causing any pain. So that's good. I'm doing a good job because I'm not causing him any pain. So yay for me. And let's see. Yeah, I'll be at the in-laws for Christmas this year. My family, I have a lot of family. You know, my parents divorced, so I've got, my mom, then my dad, and then my dad and my stepmom now is divorced as well. So then there's that. And then I have in-laws, so it's a lot to balance. So this year we're going to my in-laws because my sister-in-law just had a baby, and so his parents want everybody together. So that should be, fine. But I did say I'm bringing the cats. I'm bringing the cats. I'm not going to make my neighbors over Christmas take care of the cats. So if I go, they go. And they begrudgingly agreed because they don't like cats or animals. That's fine. That's their prerogative. But where I go, they go. They're my babies. This past month was the first month that I didn't have any endometriosis pain or flare-up in the middle of the night. So that was really, really nice and lovely, and also just another confirmation that that's what I had. The DIM, which is, that's a short version of some fancy name that I'm taking to reduce and to process the estrogen, that I'm making too much estrogen in my body. So the pills that I'm taking to help me break down the estrogen are helping. I didn't have a flare-up, which was so lovely. I actually was really worried about it. I was getting a little panicky and like, oh, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And it didn't happen, which was lovely. And so, yeah. I'm not telling you what to do, but if you do have it, maybe think about asking somebody, a professional, about DIM to process the estrogen a little bit better. I've been on it since October. So that's been nice. And then in a couple weeks, I'm getting another blood test to see if my progesterone levels have gone up after taking progesterone every 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks, whatever, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, to see if it's moved my progesterone up at all, at all. Like it has to be done during that cycle when I'm taking progesterone. So then it would tell, the blood test would say if there's any movement from when I wasn't taking it, because I had blood tests done when I wasn't, and I'm going to do it when I'm on it. So we'll see how that goes. I'll probably know in the new year, you know, around the holidays. The doctors are busy with other stuff, so I probably won't see anybody until the new year. So we shall see. So before we hit the 30-minute mark, I want to thank you for joining me. If you want to, feel free to check out my Etsy shop. It's linked in the description box below. You can follow me on Instagram, which is also linked in the description box below. Please leave a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. I'm almost at 80 subscribers, so that would be really great, and it helps people see me more when you hit subscribe or hit that like button. I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or just want to say hi, please leave something in the chat. I will message you back. It will be me, so feel free to do that. In the meantime, have a great weekend, get some stitching in, and have, I don't know, a good day. Hopefully you don't get hit by snow. We got snow already here, so stay warm, everybody. Bye.